This question came from our Instagram about how to get a manager or an agent, about representation. What you need to remember is that managers and agents work for you. You're interviewing them. Now, I know we desperately want them and they've got more actors to choose from, so it feels like they're interviewing us. And of course, you do want it to be a mutual relationship. They need to go in there and fight for you, and you need to be able to do your best for them. You're going to want that person who is, like I said, going to fight for you, that person who believes in you and your talent. So, how do you begin? Where do you start? The best way is referrals. So if you have a friend who's got a great manager or agent who's getting them great auditions and they really like them, ask them if they'd make an introduction for you. See if they want to meet with you. Sometimes agents and managers contact me and they want to know people that they can meet with. They're looking for a specific type, or they just want to know anybody who's super talented, superstar, and we can oblige. So that's the best way. Now, a lot of times you're going to ask your friend and they're going to say, oh, I'm new with them, I don't know. Okay, that's fair enough. Go ahead and ask. Your friends can say no. So go ahead and ask, and then if that doesn't pan out, do some research. Go on IMDb Pro, read the trades, look at who's the managers and the agents who are getting people work that you like, that are doing good work with somebody's career, to see what relationships they have, to see what you can learn about them. If you reach out to them and say, hey, I love what happened here, or I read your article in this, that's a great way to say, I'm not just being random. I'm not just emailing every manager and agent just seeing if anybody will bite. No, I'm being specific and targeted. I like you because of these things. We actually recently had a client who did just that. She knew who she wanted to be with, and then she got a referral, and now she's represented by them. So that's the best way. So if you're reaching out to people and maybe that's not working, well, keep training. Keep doing everything that you can to make yourself the best prepared for when that opportunity arrives, right? So you've got a great reel, which, as I've said in other videos, and I'm probably even doing another one about it, can be a great self-tape. You know, oftentimes, especially if it's not under an NDA, sharing a good self-tape, because that's what managers and agents are going to submit on your behalf. So if they can see that you can do it, it's a step in the right direction. Making yourself as versatile. We got through the pandemic. Maybe you didn't make the best of it. Okay, now we're in a strike. Hopefully you're making the best of it. But do you see that they consistently want somebody who's fluent in Spanish? Well, what are you doing to get fluent in Spanish? Or at least conversational, right? Everybody's going to begin somewhere. What are you doing to make yourself the irresistible actor, client, for when that manager or agent is looking and they go, yep, that person? Do local theater if you love it. Don't do your local theater just to get managers and agents to come. That's not the purpose of it. But if you love it, do it. I am not a huge fan of manager-agent workshops. That said, there can be some wonderful people there who might end up getting representation, but they bill themselves as educational only. So they don't promise you any kind of representation, and it doesn't happen very often. But certainly if you're a superstar and you pop in there, one of them might see you. But sometimes it might not be the right manager or agent for you. Your manager or agent might not be doing those showcases, those workshops. When you send that initial email, when you're reaching out, short and sweet. Don't go on and on and on. They don't have time to read all of that. And it's also going to signal to them that you might be a high maintenance client. If you're sending them long, rambling emails, that's not who they want to represent. They don't want to spend a lot of time on the phone with you. They don't want to be babysitting you. They want to get you appointments. They want to be, and you want them on the phone with casting, with producers, with people pitching you, not answering questions. Try to leave them alone. Try to trust them to do their job. Now, if you find out that they're casting something where the breakdown seems like you 100%, yeah, not every time. Don't get the breakdowns and be emailing them about every role on there. But if there's something where it's like, oh my gosh, they are looking for a Julia Roberts type and I look exactly like Julia Roberts and she's Russian and I'm Russian and blah, blah, blah. Okay, go ahead and let them know that. And then let it go when you don't hear anything back. Again, you don't want your representation to have to be spending time babysitting you. You want them out there working. When you're sending that initial email, don't send a gigantic headshot. Don't send 5 gigantic headshots that are going to take forever to load. I think a link to your website, a link to your Actors Access, a photo or two, little thumbnail, they can see they can investigate further if they want to. But you don't want to be clogging up their emails. No, 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 no. Bad etiquette. If they say no, let that go. They're not the right one for you. Don't go and start hounding somebody. Don't do that. They're not right for you. There are so many wonderful people who represent actors. We have to trust that you're going to find the right one. Now, you got to hustle. They're not going to find you out of nowhere. But trust that the right person is going to find you, that you are going to put into work the things you need to do to find the right person. And always being nice and kind to everybody. I think that goes without saying, but let's go ahead and say it because maybe the manager, the assistant at one place is going to move to another place. Maybe there's going to be an agency that's going to pass on you, but the person who was there who is fighting for you, when they move to the new place, they're going to say, I remember him. Let me see if he's found somebody yet. So always being available. And so make sure that they've got an accurate, up-to-date way to contact you. Very important as well. They can't just send out smoke signals. Make sure that you, even if you're sending it from an email, they might not have an opportunity to sift through and look and find everything, putting it all of your contact information right there. And something I want to add about feedback. I know we want to find out if we've had that audition, how it went, right? Did they love me? Did they hate me? What happened? Really what we want to know is that they loved us and that they want to cast us. And then if they didn't cast us, it's because we're too young and too handsome. Don't bother asking for feedback. It's a pain in the ass for everybody. If the casting has feedback that they want your representation to know, they will let them know. If for some reason your manager or agent needs that feedback, they'll ask for it. But typically it's just you weren't the right one. It wasn't your job. Somebody else was more the character. If they think that you're right for it, they might ask you to retape or come in again and they might give you notes. But don't be tracking that down. Your validation comes from hopefully starting to know that you know what you're doing, you have a craft, and you're good at what you do. And you're not going to book every job you audition for. Could you imagine? You'd be way too busy. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. Let us know what other videos you want, or if you have comments, or if you have anything you want to add. Sometimes I don't know it all. That's all.